What's good, family? Hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday afternoon. Y'all know what it is. Man. We have
Hello?
Yeah, we don't hear you, bro. Oh, all right. He hopped off for a second, JB. Of course, it's another edition of the Southern Baller Show. Of course, we got JB in the building. What's good with you, JB?
What's up, coach, man? What about yourself, bro?
Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. Another day above the ground in the land of the living. Can't complain. Jared seemed to be having some tough technical difficulties. But
Yeah.
we sure he gonna be like right back in the building. But we got a lot going on in the in the sport of boxing, because of course first and foremost, we had all right, you back, bro?
Yeah. Sorry about the system issues, y'all. But yeah, go ahead, coach. Appreciate y'all.
I was saying, we got a lot going on in the sport of boxing. What topic you want to throw to first?
Well, I think it'll be disservice if we don't go ahead and talk about the Boots Ennis. The Boots Ennis fight. And Xander Zayas. And bear with me, I'm trying to. Okay, there go Brent Fox. Yeah, stage. All right, and bear with me, y'all. I'm trying to operate from my phone because my
what's good with it, Brent
laptop
Fox?
acting up.
All right, y'all able to hear me pretty good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I see your speaker moving, but I don't hear anything.
I can hear you now, Brent.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Me too. And how's everything going, brother?
Oh, pretty good. I'm sorry, JB. Go ahead, man.
No, tell him. I'm about to say, coach, he might need to go out and come back in.
Yeah, that's what
if he can't hear Brent.
I'm finna switch devices.
But I see y'all in here, man. And again, do apologize for technical issues. Growing Soul. It says salute to the great brothers. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, salute Growing Soul.
Yes, sir. And then motivation to be a millionaire. He says salute to the family.
Salute.
Appreciate y'all. And relax and calm reign. Salute. Brent, ain't it your birthday, man?
Yeah, it'll be on Tuesday. Yes, sir.
Well, happy early birthday, brother.
I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
No problem. Yeah, happy early birthday, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to show y'all something, man. Y'all are gonna love it.
Okay. All right. Jeffrey Carroll said, "Go Tigers!" One of our HBCU brothers from HBCU fanatics in here. What's going on, man? Said, "Go Tigers!" And then Big Joseph Townsend, he said, "Salute to the family. Appreciate you supporting always." One of our co-hosts, Old Hillside Bourbon Company in the building. Yes, sir. Let me add. There you go. There you go, Coach. All right, Coach, say something.
Something.
There you go. We can hear you.
All right.
But y'all, because we gonna try to be here for a good time, not a long time, because got things to do. But we got to talk about that Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas fight, man. Wasn't that a throwback? That was a throwback fight, man, and I'm glad to see it. So to give you my opinion on the fight, it was awesome. Boots Ennis did exactly what he said. In the build up of the fight, he said he ain't backing down. He said he gonna make the young boy quit, and he did. Now shout out to Xander Zayas. He proved a warrior, Puerto Rican warrior, but that brother Boots is the real deal. Now, one thing I will say, you need to stop pulling his head back because he's getting caught every time. And when you do that against especially a young, hungry fighter or anyone who got power, no, Boots got wobbled in the third, but he got his, composure together, and then eventually was able to get the young boy out of there. But it was an awesome fight. Reminded me of the fights back in the 80s, back in the gap in the 80s, 90s, even in the early 2000s. But I want to go throughout the panel and see what y'all thought of the fight, man. Coach 67 Sports TV, what did you think of the fight?
Hey, I need to check something real quick. Come back to me, bro.
All right, I got you, homie. Brent Fox, what did you think of the fight?
I thought it was a nice little throwback fight, like you mentioned. It did give like Bernard Hopkins, especially with the uppercut that dropped Xander. The Bernard Hopkins versus Felix Tito Trinidad. It gave a little bit of that, except it was a bit more action than that particular fight. But yeah, to be quite honest, when I was giving my fight prediction on my show yesterday, I was mentioning that it was very important for Xander to try to establish outside foot position on Jaron's lead foot. That way he can just kind of direct him one way and he can better anticipate where he's going and try and cut the ring off. That didn't necessarily need to be a factor. So, I stood corrected on that. The more critical parts of the fight were actually in the pocket. And I thought that Boots would probably do well there. I didn't know that he was going to do that well. But to you all's point, like there are some things where if Boots gets a little too comfortable in exchanges, he's very vulnerable defensively. He's definitely going to have to work on that, like y'all mentioned. And I think it's just basically like it's really the curse of Floyd Money Mayweather when he does like the pull counter, where he kind of pulls his head back and shoots out a very fast and anticipated right hand to his opponents. Boots has very good reflexes, so there are things that he feels like he can get away with certain competition that he kind of found out that he may not be able to get away with once that competition level actually goes up. So I would look for him to improve that because he's a gym rat anyway. But yeah, it's just a few defensive liabilities that he may need to clean up, and I think that he'll be all right. He certainly can't do that with somebody like Sebastian Fundora. But I think that, to be quite honest with you, if he sits in the pocket like he did with Xander, and I know Fundora is an excellent inside fighter, I just think that I think that Fondora's body type probably wouldn't be able to withstand all of that punishment. Like it's basically like chopping down a tree. So yeah, those first maybe 2-3 whacks, they may not do anything, but if you keep actually hitting that trunk with that axe, eventually it's gonna go down. So, if they ever do fight, I would look for a lot of inside and body combinations from Jaron Boots Ennis on Sebastian Fundora, and that may determine the fight.
Okay, Coach, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
All right. What was your opinion on the fight?
I mean, it was a very good fight. Like y'all brothers mentioned, it was a good throwback type fight. The $1 million question for me was Xander Zayas, was he ready, to step up, him being a young fighter, step up in caliber competition, so on and so forth. And I'm not gonna lie, Boots, he proved early that, this young boy ain't ready, and that he just had too much. I'm not gonna make excuses for him in terms of saying that, hey, you stepped up too early, you wasn't ready for Boots, because you wanted to smoke. And I mean, it is what it is. Overall, I felt like it was a great fight. It was an excellent night. And shout out to Boots. But people already talking about, hey, Terrence Crawford ducked him, this, that, and third. I remember Terrence Crawford was on the Pivot Podcast, with Ryan Clark and what his name is, Ryan Clark and
Shannon Crowder and Fred Taylor.
Shannon Crowder, yeah.
Crew. And he was like, hey, ain't got a amount of money to bring him out of retirement. However, I think this caliber of competition, people doubting him, people thinking that Jaron Boots Ennis could potentially beat him. I think if Jaron Boots Ennis was to become undisputed at 154, and people saying, hey, you duck Boots, I think that would bring him out of retirement. But before we get to that point, I would love to see him fight Sebastian Fundora or Virgil Ortiz or one of these other top 154-pound fighters. But at the end of the day, I felt it was a good scrap, Very good night of boxing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. JB, what did you think of the fight? Ass whooping. I predicted that, when we went, had our predictions a couple of weeks before the fight, when we knew this fight was going to be made, or after the fight was made. Excuse me. But I kind of knew just watching Xander that he was his style. He's a good fighter, a young fighter, but I knew he was going to be too slow for Boots. Just watching his other fight, he stayed in the pocket too long. He gets hit by punches from slower other fighters that's not faster or not as fast as Boots. And I kind of knew Boots being a counter puncher. And Boots is cerebral. That his only way was winning is to catch him, Boots. And he almost did. Credit Xander after being dropped in the first round. He did catch Boots with something in the third round that rocked him. And so, that made it a more interesting fight. But Boots got his composure together, like the brother said, and ended up, finishing Xander, styling on him. And I'm glad his corner, threw in the towel, because we didn't want to. What's the dude that fought? The brother with 78 said that he always got a jacked up hair style that fought one of the Charlos. And he was young. People say he took that fight too soon.
Erickson Lubin.
Erickson Lubin said, and Erickson Lubin said when he fought Fundora, that was an ass whooping too. So, Yeah, so I'm glad that fight was stopped. He was getting hit with everything, and Boots was opening up and just target practicing his ass. So, salute to both fighters. It was a pretty good night of boxing yesterday. Salute to Boots. Stay away from Terrence Crawford. don't. And let me tell you something. Even though I hear Virgil talking shit on Twitter, Virgil need to concentrate on getting away from Oscar before he open his mouth. That's just my opinion. But if Boots don't work on that defense, coming out with his head up, Virgil got power to hurt his ass. You know what I'm saying? So he need to work on that. Even though I got Boots still winning that fight, but Virgil can hurt him. And he punched, in my opinion, he punched harder than Xander. So he needs to good fight, but he needs to go back to the lab and work on that defense more. Because homie rocked him in that third round. Sure did. And of course, we got Old Hillside Bourbon Company on the panel. Mr. Big Joe Townsend, LDBC Business in the building. What's going on, brother?
Going on with y'all? Happy Sunday. What's shaking? What's happening?
Man, salute Big Joe.
Yeah, what's up, Coach?
What's up, Big Joe?
JB, Jared, birthday Brent. What's going on with y'all?
Hey, what's happening, Joe?
What's going on?
Ain't nothing, man. I can't call it, brother. But yeah, we gonna get your opinion on the fight real fast, man. What was your opinion on that miraculous scrap we saw last time?
It was a phenomenal fight. Me and Pops actually watched the fight together. So that was a memorable moment. Him sitting up watching the fight. Pops go back to, Pops go all the way back when I go to boxing. Again, my dad sparred Muhammad Ali a long time ago. So so Pops love boxing, but it was a good fight for Boots. You only could show out depending on who your competition is. So no matter, even though that Xander Zayas did get washed, he did get dropped 3 times, he still took the fight. We won't know how good Xander is unless he fight Boots, and we don't know how good Earl is unless he fights Bud. And both those fighters made the fight happen. So the only reason why we can critique Xander because he took the fight. So, I'm not one of the ones to be like, oh man, he took the fight and he lost. That's what happens. In competition, you have a winner, you're gonna have a loser. So a lot of people, they use age as an excuse. No other sport uses age as an excuse. In the NFL, rookies go against vets every year. NBA rookies go against vets every year. F1 racing, you got rookie drivers going up against veterans like Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton every year. You got veteran tennis players going against rookie tennis players. Even in the Olympics, you got first-time Olympians going against veterans Olympians in any competition. So age is not a reason for anything. But if he's too green or not, he signed up for the fight. He believed in himself. Sometimes your own belief can get you beat. But again, in competition, if you want to know how good you are, you're going to have to go up against the best to see if you're the best. Now it depends on, how much. Well, Xander's young. Xander can get better. So it just depends on what he can do from here as far as taking this fight and maximizing it, kind of like how Canelo did. Canelo lost badly by Floyd. Canelo adopted a lot of Floyd Mayweather's tendencies, and he implemented that into his career, and Canelo had the career that he had. But regarding the fight, though, Boots did a great job. When you're an offensive fighter, you're gonna get hit. It's hard to be offensively an offensive wizard and be defensively responsible. It's hard because when you're throwing counters, when you're throwing 5-6 combinations, you're gonna leave yourself open. Boots is fast, but they don't fight that fast to where they can get their hands back and protect themselves when you're throwing all those combinations. So he's gonna get hit.
Ask Roy Jones.
You know what I mean? Exactly. You know what I mean? So he's an offensive fighter, so he's gonna get hit. He's 29, so he's pretty much is who he is as a fighter. So he can clean up some stuff, but as far as his defensiveness, he is who he is. You know what I mean? He's gonna take risks. He's gonna get hit, but he has the chin. He got rocked by Xander, but he ain't dropped. He stood in there and he dropped Xander 3 times. You know, so not too many fighters can get stunned like that and then come back a round or two later and drop their competition. So Boots got a hell of a chin, and Boots is a hell of a fighter. Now, how will he do against guys like Bud? How will he do against guys like Sebastian Fondor? That's remained to be seen. I'm just going off of what I saw yesterday, and Boots did a great job. You know, so his athleticism showed out. You know, the cream always rises to the top. Xander is a big guy for sure, but you know, he fought the wrong fight. You know, so he was too busy trying to combat Boots instead of boxing Boots. You know, if you can box Boots and implement your spots to where you can pick him apart, like he did in the 3rd round, you know, then you have a chance of beating him. But if you're trying to go toe to toe with Boots, that's not going to happen. You know, but he had the wrong game plan. Same way like Earl had the wrong game plan with Bud, you know, and they both lost. So shout out to Boots. He is now 2-time unified champion. And shout out to Xander for actually taking the fight, because the measure of a man is based upon, you know, not his wins, but by his losses. So he went in there and wanted to test himself. That's the whole point of competition in any sport, is testing yourself. You know, again, you can be a rookie NFL player, and your first scrimmage, you're going against Larry Allen. What you going to do? Not practice that day? You know, you got your first scrimmage as an NBA rookie, and you're going to be against Kobe Bryant. What, you're not going to lace up your shoes? You know, so I salute everybody who wants to test themselves, because that's what it's about. You know, you don't know how good you can be until you fully test yourself. So now, if Xander would have won, everybody would be dogging Boots, talking about, oh, you lost to a young guy, man. You ain't nothing. So Boots had to rise to the occasion, you know, to silence all his critics. And Xander wanted to see where he was at. He's just not there yet. But this shouldn't hurt him. This shouldn't set back his career. All thing this is going to do is hopefully help him getting better. You know, now we have, you know, for example, we got somebody like Edgar Berlanga. You know, he lost to Canelo, and he didn't really get no better after that. You know, he's kind of still remaining the same, and he kind of is who he is. Now it's up to Xander to see if he's going to improve as a boxer, or if he's going to just, you know, stay who he is. But overall, phenomenal fight. Salute to both fighters. It'd be interesting to see how 154 is going to go with the likes of Virgil Ortiz and with the likes of Sebastian Fondor. So overall, it was a good night of boxing.
Very good night of boxing, and very well said. And salute to Stephen Boone. He says salute to the family. Sir, and then that's another question I want to regarding to Terrence Crawford. So we, as Coach put it, we saw Terrence Crawford say on the Pivot podcast that he's retiring and he's not coming back for no amount of money. And then that viral moment where Channing Crowder said, shoot, for amount of money I would come back for a certain amount of money. And Terrence Crawford said, that's your character. But hypothetically, gentlemen, and I'm not a fan of hypotheticals, but hey, we're here to talk about it, because it could happen. What if Terrence Crawford comes out of retirement because he's tired of the voices in the background saying that he's scared of Boots or he's ducking Boots, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous, in my opinion. But what if he takes that fight? What does that say about Terrence Crawford's integrity after he said he's not going to come back? Should he think? Do you fellas think he should come back and take that fight, or just stay retired? I'm going with you, Coach.
Well, I think, you know, I was listening to Blue Blood earlier, and Blue Blood was saying in terms of the Pivot podcast, he was saying Channing Crowder got Bud wrong. Bud is kind of like one of these Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan type assassins, and competition drives him, not money. He was saying that, unlike Floyd Mayweather Jr., like Bud doesn't live a lavish lifestyle. Bud lives to spend time with his family. He lives to travel. But more importantly, like he's a competitor. So just the money alone isn't the thing that really drives, but it's more of the big fight, the combination of the big fight and the money. The money in itself is not going to drive him to come back, but the competition and people doubting his greatness, doubting whether he could beat a young dog like Boots is the thing that really would bring him back. So in that context, I don't think it's more of a situation of, oh, you sold out and came back just for the money. No, it's hey, he came back to prove that he's the greatest fighter of his era. And he didn't get to fight that fight with Boots. Once Boots, I mean, I don't think he would take it now. I think Boots would have to become undisputed at junior middleweight for him to come back to take that fight. Now, he don't want to sit on the shelf too long because for all the time he's still undefeated, despite how much of a dog Bud is. So at the end of the day, I don't think, it would make him look extremely hypocritical, him saying what he said to Channing Crowder, because based on, what Blue Blood said and the scenario that is seemed like is coming to fruition is the fact that the competition is more the driving force than the money, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense and well said, Coach. Big Joe, what you think? You think Crawford is wrong for taking that fight after he said that to Channing, or it is what it is?
No, I don't think he'll be wrong for taking the fight. When he said that, he was on his tour from beating Canelo. He already got paid very handsomely for that fight. And then again, like Coach was saying, Bud is he's not a stunting kind of guy. He has properties, he has businesses and things like that. He's pretty smart with his money. He always talks about his relationship with Warren Buffett. So, so I think, his money is at a good spot, but circumstance could change, because I hear some personal things to where, he may be going through a divorce, and that could, no matter how much money you got, that's going to hurt regardless. So, so if he come back and need to do a re-up fight with Boots, I think I wouldn't knock him. I wouldn't knock him for doing that. Now, will he generate the money that he gets fighting Boots like he fought Canelo? I'm not sure. I think there might be more money in a Bud Canelo rematch than a Boots versus Bud fight. But if he decides to fight Boots, I wouldn't knock him for doing it. It will be a great fight. It will be, the old dog going against the young lion, and if that fight does happen, I'm not going against Bud. Bud has shown that, that he's a phenomenal fighter.
Me neither.
Bud has shown that him and Bomac can put together a game plan to dismantle any fighter that they go up against. So I won't pick against Bud until he actually loses the fight. Until then, from what I saw the other day, I believe Bud can definitely pick apart Boots. I believe that Bud can switch hands too. Bud is strong as well. Bud also lives a fighter lifestyle, just like Boots, to where he stays in shape, stays in the gym and everything. So that will be a phenomenal fight. But I believe Bud has the like I said, the coaching, but he also has the experience, that will be able to dismantle Boots. Now the real question is, will Eddie Hearn make that fight? So Eddie Hearn has been known to stop big fights from happening. Eddie Hearn has been known to not be able to make the big fight. So if this fight would have happened, it'll be up to Turkey Al-Sheikh, to put up the money. And I'm hearing that Bud Crawford might be taking a position in Zuffa boxing. So, and Zuffa and Matchroom don't really get along right now. But It's going to have to take somebody like Turkey for that fight to happen. But if they do fight, I got Bud Crawford by unanimous decision.
You being nice. That's way better than what I got. I got it by TKO myself, but I can see Boots surviving, but he take a beating in the process. But well said, Big Joe. Jared011, what's going on? He said, yo, gentlemen, appreciate you coming by, man. Awesome content creator here. Make sure you support this brother's content and channel. He said Bud will beat the dog shit out of Boots. Yeah, we agree. Jared011 said Boots has very little defense, and let's remember that Bud has the power to make someone like Canelo back up. Now, I wouldn't say he doesn't have little defense. Very little. It's just that, like Big Joe explained, if you were on at that time, Jared011, when you are offensive assassin and cerebral like Boots is, sometimes it's hard to be defensively responsible. Look back all of the great offensive fighters, Roy Jones, so on and so forth. Look how they lost. A lot of them were lost by flash, not KO. Manny Pacquiao. Because they're pushing the offense.
Yep, he ran right into that hook and with Marquez because he was trying to be offensive.
I think a perfect style for Boots is to go up against somebody like David Benavidez. Obviously, they're in several different weight classes, but that style of fight, Benavidez is not the most defensively responsible fighter either. But his combinations is his defense. He hits you with a 6-7 combination. It's gonna stun you. It's gonna make you rethink a lot of things about your life. Make you rethink your whole training camp. So again, Benavidez gets hit. He gets hit hard. He gets but you have to weather the storm, and it's hard to weather the storm from a guys like Benavidez and Boots. So a lot of times their best defense is their offense and is their combinations. So.
Right. Your chin can't be your defense. I just know that. So we see.
Go ahead and take it, JB, because I was going to ask you. Yeah.
I was going to say this, and I'll get back to your question. Yeah, because you brothers knew. People say Jared. These last couple of fights, Jared heard. Is whatever he watched and everything. But people, when Jared Hurd first got on the scene and he beat up Laura, he beat the dog shit out of Laura. People forget out of that. I'm talking about prime Laura. And everybody was scared. Everybody wanted him and Charlo fight. Have great, like Joe said, is coming forward and he just smother you with, his punches. I mean, it's just a matter of time, man. Even with what you said, man, with the greats, Boots got to clean that up or somebody gonna run him into something. Especially, and to your point, a couple of shows back, Jerry, you talking about Benavidez going to heavyweight. Somebody gonna run him into something. He's gonna take one punch. But anyway, to answer your question, I just think that Terrence Crawford coming out of retirement to fight Boots. I don't think that makes him a hypocrite. I think because of the type of man he is, like the brothers perfectly stated, his thing is legacy, making the fights happen. Especially if everybody's saying that he can't beat Boots, then I can see him coming out of retirement and putting a good demo down, just like he did with Canelo. Everybody was saying, hey, everybody was saying, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, when he went up all those weight classes to fight Canelo, and I'll be damned, he went up there and did it. So he's the type of dude that he's chasing after legacy. So I can see him coming out of retirement doing it.
Yeah, and if he does, I'll give him grace because Tyson Fury that came out of retirement 3-4 times, and nobody ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, but
as
when
far
you
as the media ain't.
You know, when you on that white girl like he is, you know what I'm saying? And you take steroids, you need, a couple of months to get it, fully get it in your system, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. And Brent, I'm gonna ask you the same question, then we're gonna move on. Jared011 said, "I give Boots props for weathering the storm. I just didn't like the way that third round happened." Yeah, I didn't either. If somebody like Bud would have to have him in that position fight, it would have been over. Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, because Big Joe gave you his prediction, and you did too. I'm gonna tell you this: if that was Terrence Crawford in that third round, Boots would have been stopped there in that third round, buddy. So you got to clean that up. But Brent back here.
But yeah, Brent, welcome back, man. And did you hear the question? And if you did, you can go ahead and take it.
Oh, just review it for me. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I got the question. I have an idea what it is. I just want to make sure I have the question.
All right, homie. So basically, the question is, if Terrence decide to come out of retirement, for number one, he pretty much put Channing on blast on that viral moment where he told Channing that Channing said if he was in his position, Terrence's position, he would come out of retirement for a certain amount of certain price. And Terrence Crawford said, "Well, that's your integrity. That speaks on your character, basically."
Mm-hmm.
So if he turn around after saying that to Channing and comes out of retirement to fight Boots, number one, is he a hypocrite? Or number two, it is what it is because he's chasing after legacy.
Honestly, we're all hypocrites on some level, to be honest. Now, what I will say is that for context, what Channing Crowder was referring to was that he said specifically that he would sell his soul for X amount of dollars. And then that's where he went viral.
Word for word. Thank you for that, Brent. Yeah.
And then he went viral saying that. And then Bud was like, well, hey, that just kind of shows your integrity. But yeah, he was saying that he was willing to sell his soul for that money. If Bud just wants to come back to maybe settle some unfinished business, I don't think that the boxing world is actually going to hold that against him and call him a hypocrite.
I don't think so either.
But if there were a fight, then again, I think that Boots actually he sometimes fights to the level of his competition, especially with that Karen Chukachora fight. He'll sometimes fight to the level of his competition. Now he knows better than to do that with Bud, because if Bud sees any disadvantage, he's going to take advantage, and that's going to be the end of the fight. But I think that as far as like his defensive flaws, he'll clean most of that up because he has to. But I would still think that Bud, if Jaron actually makes a mistake, then yeah, he's out of there. But yeah, I don't. I think that I think that if he, and when I'm saying he, if Jaron is able to use his youth and some agility, because I mean, I think as far as like lateral movement and quick steps and things of that nature go, I think Boots would still have a slight edge against Bud. So if he can take him and make him constantly move and kind of distract and disrupt at the beginning of the fight to where Bud's not able to hone in on some type of pattern, then he could be successful. But if not, if he just does what he quote unquote normally does, and he'll wind up getting caught with something and then the fight's over.
Okay, well said. Woke 84 was good, man. He said, salute, brothers. What's going on? Appreciate you coming by.
Salute.
Jada6 said, if you're going to be a hypocrite, might as well get paid for it. Everyone and their in-laws would tune in to watch Blood versus Boots. Payday will be impossible to turn down. You got a point. Definitely got a point. And we're gonna change the subject. We still gonna stay on boxing for a little bit. So one thing, so Eddie, before the Boots and Xander Zayas fight, Eddie Hearn announced that it may be a possible Usyk versus Wilder is next.
Man, get the fuck out. I'm sorry.
That's what he said on live TV, and we know. Of course.
I'm finna go in on this. Brother. I'm going in on him when it's my turn. I'm sick of this.
Matter of fact, go ahead and cook. I'm gonna let you go first, since you got a lot to say.
All right.
B Fox.
Yeah, he's probably bound to make an appearance on this one. Eddie Hearn is a near and dear subject to my heart. This is the same man that willfully avoided Wilder versus Joshua, while it could have been a fight for undisputed. This is also a person that, yes, Devin Haney made money with, but I would think that you wouldn't want to do too much business with this particular person because their business practices have a questionable history. I'm starting off nice and modest, and then I'm going to build up. He's also the person that actually had Anthony Joshua willfully avoid Luis King Kong Ortiz, and they were under the same stable. This is a person that tried to hype a Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight when Tyson Fury was still under contract for a third fight with Deontay Wilder. This is the same person that tried to use Dillian White as a pawn for a Wilder fight and did not, in no way, shape, form, or fashion, want him to eventually fight Anthony Joshua. So the short version of this is Eddie is a fuck nigga. And I just don't too much care for him.
Well, damn.
When he was down here for the Virgil Ortiz Maurice Hooker fight, I tried to look for him, couldn't really get past security, but that's another thing. I just don't like, a whole bunch of hoe ass niggas in my area, in my community. I mean, sometimes that can be contagious, and then you bring other hoe ass niggas out, and we can't have that. Can't have that. Can't have that. Yep. Yeah, Mr. Hearn has a really bad history of not providing the fights that need to be provided, is what I'm saying. He could have very easily made several other matchups. But you know, just to kind of keep, I guess, the name up there. And congratulations, Mr. Hearn. When you fought, when you thought that you was fighting an overmatched Andy Ruiz, your guy got embarrassed, and was hanging around in New York trying to, I guess, get his swagger back or whatever the fuck he was doing. Then this nigga had the audacity to come to my city for 2 training camps. That's a whole nother situation. Just saying, I don't like this type of thing. And then I think Eddie Hearn and others, I'm not going to leave others out, are probably the reason that Dana White's KKK backing ass and, poor Turkey Al-Sheikh, he's literally losing his mind. And I'm not trying to really make fun of that, but, that's the reason that Zuffa is existing and all of that, because you refuse to make the fights that the people are demanding. And now you've created an opening or made passageway for somebody like Turkey Al-Sheikh to come in and pretty much buy the bar and then have all these matchups that people have been asking for, and then, take over boxing, basically. So, you gonna let the undercover Klansmen and, God bless Turkey Al-Sheikh, in charge of boxing, basically, because you being a fuck nigga and you just refuse to let your guys, test themselves. I get it. You want to make as much money as you possibly can off these motherfuckers, but eventually they gonna be tested. And while we at it, Gervonta Davis, what happened to, what was your name? Abdul Wahid? I thought you was a Muslim, my brother. Muslims are people of principle, even though I don't agree with their religion or whatever. But shit, he should be signed to Eddie Hearn because he doing the same fuck shit. He won't fight anybody that's in his era. He refuses to challenge himself. He did fight the racist drug cheat Ryan Garcia, but he had him weight drained. So of course, and then Ryan Garcia doesn't have the best defense, and he had a horrible defense back then. And it was only a matter of time before he, hit the canvas. And then he juiced up and all that other shit happened. But anyway, back to Hearn. Yeah, him and his fuck ass daddy, because I don't want to forget about him talking about people with slaves and now we got to call you Mister and all this bullshit. So now that I think about it, it's a Hearn family legacy of fuck shit that they just passing on. So yeah, and the short version is fuck Eddie Hearn. I'll believe it when it actually happens. And if at all possible, Mr. Hearn, stay the fuck out my city, bitch.
Damn. Tell us how you really feel.
That's not Brent Fox. That's Brendale. Man, that's Brendale right there, brother.
Brendale.
Man, I hate that hoe, nigga. Hate that hoe. The whole Pleasant Grove came out of me then. I just hate hoe ass niggas. I'm sorry.
For real.
So Brent Fox, so you saying that the Hearn family is generational hoe ass niggas?
Absolutely, sir. Hearn and Ho start with the same H, my brother.
Oh.
Yeah, it starts with the same H.
In the words of Big Nostrils, you heard him.
That ain't his name no more. Big Nostrils. That's the new name right there.
Boy.
Jada Six said, had to switch to desktop. My phone was overheating due to the fire, and Brent was spitting. Yeah. Yeah. I no lies told there. Okay. Coach, what's your thought on that possible matchup?
It's the matchup I'm eagerly anticipating. I think Wilder is the most deserving challenger for Alexander Usyk, and as a result, it won't ever happen. And Brent Fox made a very valid point. The same way Eddie Hearn is teasing a potential Usyk Wilder showdown is the same way Tank Davis handlers have been teasing a potential showdown with Devin the Dream Haney. And of course, there's been a little bit of back and forth on social media. But more than anything, the same way Eddie Hearn is clout chasing and trying to keep Usyk relevant is the same way Tank Davis just look up and he saw, hold up, Devin Haney could potentially fight Shakur Stevenson or Black and Mild Keyshawn Davis. Hold up, I can't let them steal all the spotlight. Let me become a clout chaser and jump in the fray, throw my name in the hat, and use his name for clout. The same way he did that, Eddie Hearn did the same thing to, stir up the boxing world and to keep Usyk's name relevant after his last poor performance against the kickboxer. So at the end of the day, I don't see Usyk growing a pair of testicles and fighting Wilder, and nor do I see Javante Tank Davis growing a set of testicles and fighting Devin Haney without a rehydration clause. So at the end of the day, I think both instances is strictly clout chasing.
Okay. JB, what you think on this possible matchup? Usyk versus Wilder that Eddie Hearn announced last night.
I believe it when we see it, especially when D come out and say something. He'll come out to the LDBC through 78 and verify that. So as of now, coming out of just Eddie lips, that shit could be false. Like Brent perfectly said in his rant, you could be blowing smoke, and like Coach said, trying to get keep Usyk relevant. But with all that being said, I hope it is true. Because I want that fight for Wilder. He deserves that fight, and hopefully that he can go out in out in the sunset with a knockout win. So
Blaze of glory.
Yes, Lord. So we'll see who lying.
Okay. Adrian Crook said Boots mid as hell. In 4 years, 23-year-old Xander Powell will grow, and those hurting punches will send Boots ass home. Yeah, woulda, coulda, shoulda, man. Boots got the job done. Boots, I wouldn't say he's mid. I think he just needs to clean up on his defense.
Yeah, again, he fights to the level of his competition, man. I don't think that was the best version of him, to be honest.
Yeah, and Big Joe, what you think on the Eddie Hearn announcing possible Wilder versus Usyk fight? And what up, Adrian Crook? Appreciate you coming by, man.
I'll salute Adrian Crook.
Unless I missed something, Eddie Hearn is not Wilder's promoter. If I remember, Eddie Hearn is not Usyk's promoter. I believe he's with Frank Warren, correct? So what would Eddie Hearn be knowing about this? He need to be making sure that his boy Anthony Joshua fight Tyson Fury. I haven't heard no confirmation, no date. I'm hearing a whole lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas, and maybes. So you should worry about your own fighter before you speak on what Usyk or Wilder should be doing, because none of them is under your Matchroom umbrella. Now, regarding that fight, I hate to be that brother, but I don't want to see it now. I don't want to see it.
Be that brother. We want to hear it. Go ahead.
I don't want to see it. I don't care for it because Usyk just dropped all his belts. Wilder wanted to fight Usyk because he had at least 3 or 4 of the belts. Wilder fight him. I gets him closer to undisputed. That's Wilder's goal, is being undisputed. That's his goal. So for Usyk to drop all his belts and now all of a sudden you want to fight Wilder, and Usyk excuses, oh, I want to have the other guys get a chance to be a champion, and so you drop all your belts and then now you want to fight Wilder. No. Well, what's the point of Wilder fighting Usyk then when he can go after some of the vacant belts? Because Wilder's goal is always wanting to be undisputed. It wasn't just to defeat Usyk. So, you know, Wilder don't have that many fights left in him. Yeah.
Big Joe, he dropped the rest of them belts?
Yeah. He dropped the belts.
Yeah, sure did.
He dropped the belts. I put that in the group chat. He dropped the belts like several days ago. He dropped all the belts and he said he has one more fight left. He wants the other heavyweight guys to get a chance to be a champion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I put it in the chat as well.
You right, Big Joe. F him. Hey, if I was wild, I wouldn't want it now either. Now you had a chance to fight me when you was undisputed and you didn't want no smoke. Now you ain't got no belt. You want to fight, man? F you.
Yeah, so you know, I don't want to see the fight, you know. But regarding Eddie Hearn, if it was up to Eddie Hearn, Devin Haney went to Australia and fight George Kambosos. You know, so so Eddie Hearn has been known to not make the big fights. Eddie Hearn has been known to swindle and steal money. Hence the reason why the Zone Boxing don't really be under Matchroom no more. The Zone is under the Rider Season umbrella. Because of Edward Hearn and his thievish ways. You know, Eddie Hearn went to the Zone and said, hey, give me $1 billion and I'll make sure that we get this and this fight. And I guarantee you we're going to get Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. That was when AJ had 3 belts and Wilder had the WBC. Did that fight happen? Hell no. And then what happened to all that money then that he got from the Zone? So anyways, so yeah, you can't pay Eddie Hearn no attention. Eddie Hearn is just like a spoiled broad who just be talking about something that they don't know about. Pretty much Edward Hearn is the media takeout of boxing. He talks about all the gossip, but he ain't never got no truth to what regarding his side of things. So yeah, I don't want to see it. I want Wilder to accomplish his dreams. So I want Wilder to try to gather them belts quick as he can. That's why he wanted to fight Usyk, because Usyk had 3 of the belts. So now that they're stripped now, what's the point? So, but if Wilder still want to knock off Usyk for legacy purposes, cool. But, his goal is to be undisputed, and find Usyk is not gonna get you no props, not gonna get you nowhere closer to that goal. So they're already trying to gatekeep. They're already trying to stop him from doing that. So, fight the fights that's going to get you towards achieving your goal. So shout out to Wilder. I think Usyk may fight like I can see him fighting somebody like some easy work, for him going away. So anyways, yeah, Rodney Eddie Hearn, none of these fighters are under your umbrella. So in the words of Roger Mayweather, you don't know shit about boxing.
Facts. J6 said it will be an okay fight. Both men are older and don't have that same fire they once had, but it'll still draw a crowd. Usyk really doesn't have nothing to prove, and that's why he dropped the belts, because he ain't want a chance losing to Wilder if that fight happens. But I would, like the brother said, I don't think it's gonna come into fruition. Adrian Crook said he can't F with Bud. He was tripping. Yeah, well, that's one. Well, we were just talking about that earlier. Yeah, Bud. We agreed that Bud cannot mess with Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford will dog walk his ass.
You mean Boots can't mess with?
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, you say
Boots can't mess with him. My bad. Boots
Yeah.
cannot mess with Terrence Crawford. My apologies, fellas. I'm talking to trying to get this. Make sure it don't drop me out again. So my apologies for not focused. But yeah, Boots will get his ass whooped against Crawford. But moving on, fellas. So what the hell going on with Floyd Money Mayweather? Well, can we even call him that anymore?
Damn, man. Boy. I hate to laugh at another man's misfortune, but shit. I don't know. He brought that on himself, man.
Nah, but the see
Floyd-
on itself.
Floyd, I'm gonna write you a check, man. That's gonna probably bounce.
Damn. Not Floyd bad check Mayweather.
Oh yeah, so he was supposed to have a fight coming up, and then like a whole bunch of legal issues, something going on with his baby mama and writing bad checks and shit. So yeah, I'm gonna go with you, Coach, because you did a little bit more research than me on it. What's going on with Floyd? Because haven't been paying attention to that dude.
Well, he got a lot going on. First and foremost, like you said, he owned this adult entertainment spot, and one of his exotic dancers got pregnant for him. He owes like over $1 million in back child support. In addition to that, I'm thinking to myself, bro, who is barebacking dancers? Is what I'm trying to. I'm like, all right, bro, whatever. All right, so that's one thing. In addition to that, he wrote a bad check for some jewelry for like over $200,000. That's felony, felony theft type charges, writing bad checks, so on and so forth. And then lastly, 50 Cent being the troll that he is, at one point the two of them was tied in two breasts, you know what I'm saying? Two breasts jammed in the sports bra. But at this point, they done fell off, they're not cool no more, whatever the case may be. And basically 50 Cent being a troll that he is, what he did was he put out some alleged audio footage of Leonard Ellaby and Al Heyman, basically saying that, saying something about, Floyd Mayweather, because, Floyd Mayweather at one point, he was like, hey, he run PBC, even if you're going through Al Heyman, I still run PBC, whoop the woo. So, just 50 Cent being messy at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, like, we've been saying this for years. 7-8 is like one of the main people I've seen say it for years. Like, this dude lives such a lavish lifestyle. I remember they showed footage of him. I think he went like a regular mall or a regular jewelry store. He didn't get a jeweler to appraise it. He didn't get, there was no checks and balances in terms of him checking the validity of these diamonds. He didn't have a jeweler. He didn't want to appraise it. This boy bought an $18 million watch. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, there's no way you make an impulse buy like that without checking with your accountants, your lawyers, without having a few jewelers verify the validity of those diamonds. Are they conflict-free diamonds? Are they real diamonds and not just glass? So at the end of the day, he always claimed he made smart investments, which clearly wasn't the case. Anytime you give a couple $100 million, a few $100 million to a scammer, and that's one thing about him. 7-8 said this earlier this week. He was like, he don't trust the brother man, but he trusts the other man, and the other man is the one that stole all his money. So at the end of the day, like, this entire situation, he brought it on himself. He lives a ridiculous lifestyle. He bought a plane, bought several mansions, ridiculous amount of luxury cars, Rolls Royces, Bentleys, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all with the Money Mayweather emblem on it. And the thing, from an investment standpoint, I don't care if the vehicle is worth $1 million, $500,000, $100,000, or $200,000. As soon as you drive a car off the lot, it depreciates in value. So at the end of the day, he really brought this on himself. So You know, sometimes you feel bad for people, but other times you really can't feel bad for them because they make poor choices and they bring this on themselves. So at the end of the day, the reason why he's come out of retirement is because he needs the money. Point blank, bottom line, period.
Damn. Floyd going through a lot, man. And based on what Coach just said, what's y'all brother's opinion? Brent, going to you first.
It's going to be a lot of in agreement points with Coach. Now, as far as like the bareback and like the exotic dancers, unfortunately, since I live in Dallas and have to encounter several Dallas Cowboys, that's the story of half the damn team. They do that all the time. Oh, so that wasn't actually surprising at all. Shoot, now that I think about it, I think that the infamous Miss Jackson may have been an exotic dancer that Floyd done picked up.
What? She was a dancer? You told me the one that was going with Nelly too at one point.
Okay. It's speculation. It's speculation. I don't know whether or not they may not be 100% true. I said that I would not doubt if she was.
All right.
Yeah. Let me just be clear on that. I don't need nobody coming after me. But yeah. Unfortunately, the investments, quote unquote, weren't good investments. And then, I was a fan of Floyd Mayweather when he was Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, when he was fighting guys like Diego Chico Corrales and DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley and Zab Judah, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. He was willing to fight guys.
The best possible competition.
Yeah, the best possible competition to, prove that he's actually the best. He also stood on principle and took a chance on himself when he actually bought his contract out from Top Rank. That was almost unheard of back then to try and do that. You took a chance on yourself and, you hit. But unfortunately, money only highlights who you really are. So once he actually came into that particular amount of money, it just kind of highlighted who he really was. And it's, now it's just kind of coming back. It's all just kind of coming back full circle, man. He is unfortunately going to be one of those guys that had to fight past his prime, and he might wind up taking quite a few L's because he needs the money. So, I would probably look for that. I think that if he does actually fight Pacquiao, it might not be so great for him. Because by then he's probably going to be 50, 51, something like that. So yeah, it's just not going to be, the future's not too bright for him. If you got to sit up here and fight people at 50 plus because you need the check, then, that it's not going to be such a great or positive thing. But yeah, you reap what you sow. I can't be too sympathetic about it. Like he's done other people pretty bad. And, when you do stuff like that and you put that type of energy out, you get that energy back. So this is the energy coming back.
Yeah. And in the words of the phenomenal Bill Haney, you can't call yourself the money team when you're the only one on the team getting money,
Oh yeah, he did get him with that one.
Yeah, supposedly he only had the two fights lined up with Mike Tyson and Manny Pacquiao. The exhibition with Mike Tyson and the real fight with Pac. So hey, who knows?
Mm-hmm. Nah, he'd get that money, and he probably blow through that, and then he probably need to get another fight. Well, man, I got to get that check again, man. I got to do it. 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 No, look, boxing needs me. Boxing needs me. I'm like, all right,
Man,
Floyd.
man, we're gonna see Floyd riding around in the Uber, just like the rest of them.
Yeah. Damn, he gonna have to change his name to Floyd Insufficient Funds or Floyd Money
Anthony
Management
Boatman
Mayweather.
and
Man,
Adrian
now
Cook already gave him some nicknames, new
Bankruptcy
nicknames.
boy
But,
Floyd. Bankruptcy boy Floyd. Damn. Oh.
Big
Transaction
Joe, what's your
decline.
thoughts on Floyd ass? My bad, friend.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead. I was just thinking out loud anyway.
Whose turn is it?
you
Yeah,
Big
who
Joe.
turn?
Your turn.
Oh,
My bad, coach. Well, damn. I'm sorry. I'm making sure.
I shall mute.
No. We just verifying it, bro. You know.
Coach said, "You nigga." I'm sorry. My bad, dog. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, nigga. I'm sorry.
Hey, I did not see it.
My bad, dog. I'm sorry. Let me tighten up. But yeah, no, that's not Money Mayweather. That's just Grand Rapids, Floyd. He's just a nigga from Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's all that is. You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
good one.
You know what I
That's a
mean?
good
Good
one.
point.
He just where he from. You know what I mean? So I have no sympathy for Floyd. You know, I don't feel bad for him. I'm not gonna pray for him or nothing. Floyd's a terrible human being. Floyd has always stunted and shitted on everybody who was ever around him. Anybody who was underneath Floyd, anybody who was around Floyd, Floyd always shitted on everybody that was around him, belittled everybody, talked down to everybody because he thought that his money made him above any and everything. Any fighter under Floyd never got no money. That's even including Javante Tank Davis. Tank didn't start getting money until he left Floyd Mayweather. Tank was only getting $2 to $3 million per fight, but he was supposed to be getting anywhere between $6 to $8 million or $10 million per fight. Floyd had that boy on a 360 deal so bad to where that's why even when Tank was with Floyd, Tank was getting his cards repossessed. Tank was low on money, messing with Floyd Mayweather. You dig what I'm saying? So Floyd's a terrible person, you know. So Floyd definitely mismanaged funds. He's just somebody who is just not a smart guy. This goes from him living a lifestyle that you can't obtain. You know, Floyd loves looking up to them people, but even them people don't live like Floyd was living. You know, so you can't have 5, 6, 7 houses and have 10 cars in every house. Listen, that's not something I'm making up. You can look at prior videos. You can see Floyd in a garage, and you got literally 10 cars, Rolls Royces, Maybachs, Bentleys, or whatever. Talking about this is my White House. This is my house in Miami, and this house this is the White House. So every car here is going to be white. We have a fleet of cars here. We have 10 cars, and then my LA home, it's the Black House. I got 10 black cars over there. That's Floyd. And like y'all was saying, the man that got an $18 million watch, and everybody verified or have the authentication to prove that watch is even worth $18 million. Because with anybody who has bought any jewelry, whatever you pay for at the dealer is not what it's worth when you walk out with it. That's why it's hard for a lot of jewelers to give you an appraisal when you buy your jewelry there, because they know that their appraisal is not going to be worth how much that you're trying to sell it for. So buying an $18 million watch means that it's probably worth maybe a couple $100,000. You know, so Floyd is known to be a trick. Floyd has known to not only give girls money and stuff like that, you know, he's known just to spend money just to try to prove that, oh, I'm Money Mayweather. So with him living a lifestyle that he's trying to live, trusting the wrong people, Floyd is in the situation that he's at now. You know, so when you see a fool, you play a fool. And Floyd been a fool for a long time. You know, so again, several years ago, it came out that people were suing Floyd over not over missed car payments, or Floyd will go to an exotic auto dealer and say, "Let me get 2 or 3 of these cars," and never pay the people. So this is not the first time Floyd has been sued for not paying nobody. You know, for somebody who keeps $100,000 on them, or keep $1 million on them. If you can't pay no debt, that's $200,000, and you supposed to be a $800 million brother, you ain't got no money. You know, so if you on the floor seat of an NBA game next to Jay-Z and you pulling out stacks of money, you ain't got no money. Now, the only reason why you'll keep that amount of money on you is because either you don't want the IRS to come seize it, hence the reason why the IRS put a $7 to $8 million loan. I'm sorry, $7 to $8 million lien on all his accounts and his properties and everything. So any money you put in the bank, the IRS is gonna take it from you. You even put 25 cents in there, that belongs to the IRS. Hence the reason why Floyd's walking around with all that money. Because as soon as he put it in that account, it's gonna belong to the Internal Revenue Services. And best believe they gonna get that money about you one way or another. So for Floyd to get back to being debt free, he has been recluded. He has been recalled and returned back to boxing. The only way you can make that much amount of money in a small period of time is either you're playing sports, which is why a lot of professional football and basketball players, they go broke after they're done playing, because, you know, when you get 1.2 or $5 million, or let's say $900,000 a game check, once that stops, no other business venture, no other investment can bring in that amount of money at one time. So that's why a lot of athletes go broke, because they're trying to chase that $900,000 weekly game check by investing in this, investing in that, and it's just not how things work. You know, if you can get a 3 to 4% return on your investment on any investment, you know, you're doing great. But anyways, that's another conversation. So Floyd needed some money real bad. So Floyd then signed with this guy to, you know, to do some expeditions, as some people say, do some expeditions and the fight Manny Pacquiao. So then he gave Floyd a bag, and Floyd tried to burn off on him and do the expeditions without him anyway. And that guy said, "Wait a minute now, hey, I own the rights to you. I own the rights to these fights. You can't fight nobody unless I say so." Hence the reason why the fight this weekend, Floyd supposed to fight in Greece this weekend. That fight got stopped on Thursday. We're gonna stop on all tickets. We're gonna stop on all this. This fight's not happening in Greece. So, you know, Floyd then took money from Netflix, you know, regarding the Manny Pacquiao fight, and now Floyd looking like he's trying to burn off on that. So now Floyd is turning into a scammer now. He went from Money Mayweather to that. That's why I call him the Grand Rapids Floyd, because now he turned into a scammer. You know, he's out here jugging and scamming like he's from Atlanta out here. So I have no sympathy for Floyd. Floyd's not a good person. You know, again, with the latest thing, Floyd has bounced a couple checks regarding some watches. I don't know what's up with him and him needing 500 watches, but he went to go buy a watch, and he purposefully wrote this man a $200,000 check, knowing that he had insufficient funds in his account. Hence the reason why the check bounced. And the jeweler said, "Hey, Floyd, you know, the check bounced. You know, hey man, hey, you know, let me go. Hey man, hey, you know, hey, let me get my money, man. Come on, man, let's come on, man. Let's don't do me like that, dog. Hey, you know, I gave you some grace. Hey, man, this guy been trying to contact Floyd for a while, and Floyd won't pay him. But this is the same Floyd who walked around with $1 million in his duffel bag, but you ain't got 200 grand to pay for the watch that you allegedly trying to buy. So now, if you write a bad check knowing you ain't got no money in your account, that is a federal offense. That is a federal offense. You know, so you know, you bounce a check knowing you ain't got no money. Yeah, that's a federal offense right there. Anything over, I think it's $1,000 or $10,000, and you knowingly write a bad check, that's a federal offense. But that's a $200,000 check that he bounced. Ooh wee, you know what I mean? So again, Floyd, the same person that said, you know, look guys, look, all lives matter. All lives matter, but blue lives matter. So I'm a leader, not a follower. So that's why I'm in Gucci. Gucci never did anything to me, and I'm a leader, not a follower, and I go and do what I want to do. Okay, so all lives matter. You know what? All checks matter too. So all checks don't deserve to be bounced. All checks don't deserve to have no red, no red scribbling on it. No check deserves to be having looked up at the light because you knowingly and willingly wrote a check knowing you can't afford it. If you ain't got $200,000, why are you trying to buy a $200,000 watch? And we can't forget Floyd has a huge gambling problem, real bad gambling. So from him leaving the lifestyle he's trying to live, having a gambling problem, having a spending problem, and also getting scammed by them small head people, Floyd is getting what he deserves. So somebody may say, well, how you know Floyd's a bad person? Man, how you know that? Man, you just hating on Floyd. How you know Floyd's a bad person? I ain't gonna say nobody's name. I know somebody who used to work for Floyd, so I know a lot of personal dirt on Floyd Mayweather. So this ain't none that I saw from 50 Cent. I know somebody who used to work for Floyd for many years, and this is a true story right here. My homie, he used to work for Floyd, used to do security for Floyd. I ain't gonna say his name, but shout out to Cuz. One day, my homie said that his lady was coming in town. That's when Floyd lived in LA. And my homie said, "Hey Floyd, my lady's coming in town. She gonna pick me up from here. Can I give her the address for her to pick me up so I can hang out with my wife? Because I get off in so many hours." Floyd said, "Okay, cool, no problem." So then he gave his wife the address. She came to pick him up, and he's like, "Hey yo, hey baby, let me introduce you to Floyd. I want to show you, who I work for and all that kind of stuff, So then, my homie's wife would get out the car and everything. He said, "Hey Floyd, I want you to meet my wife." Floyd come out counting a whole bunch of money, like with his head down, counting 100, walking out with a stack of money, counting money in front of my homie and his wife. And then he's like, hey, he didn't even look up at her. He didn't like acknowledge her or anything. He just said, "Hey, nice to meet you. Oh, yo, by the way, before you leave, can you wash my car real quick before you leave?" Now, my homie, he did security for Floyd. He didn't detail Floyd's cars.
Okay.
But he's trying to sun him in front of his wife. This is what Floyd do. So my homie said, "Hey Floyd, hey man, I don't wash your cars. Somebody else do that, and I want to scratch your cars up. You know what I mean? So you got detail guys for that. I want to scratch your car up." And Floyd said, "No. Before you leave, I'm gonna need you to wash my car." My homie said, "No, man, I'm not washing your car, man. I want to scratch your car up." Floyd told my homie, who does security, told him, either you wash my car or you fired, in front of his wife. So now as a man, you got to make a decision. What's more important, your pride, your ego, or that check? Because he was getting paid at the time okay by Floyd. This is when Floyd was still boxing, So my homie, the man that he is, he said, he pretty much cussed Floyd up all the way up and down, because that's hella disrespectful. You know what I mean? Some niggas would have still took that lashing and still working for Floyd. My homie said, "F you in this job," and a bunch of other stuff. Never worked with Floyd ever again. But that's the kind of man Floyd is. So 78 then told some stories before of how Floyd owed some guys $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and then when a girl come around, Floyd will give them $70,000 cash right in front of you, knowing that he owe you money. That's who he is. So we always talk about not having no sympathy for coons and rats and everybody who's against the community. I got no sympathy for Floyd. No sympathy at all. So long story short, Floyd, if you're listening, just know that all lives matter. Blue lives matter. So hopefully those people you defended, they can come in, bail you out. And also, Floyd, all checks matter, because all checks don't deserve to be bounced.
Hey, maybe he could get some exhibition fights with Adrian Broner and Tank Davis and before he fight Mike Tyson. I'm sorry, exhibition Mike Tyson, and then Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with that all checks matter movement. We got to get some t-shirts or something.
Y'all wrong
Already.
in this comment section. Y'all said talk.
Already.
Desmond Allen talk about some. Let's invite Floyd back to Baton Rouge for homecoming to late a donation for him. Man, y'all ain't shit.
No,
No,
no, we're
'cause,
not. No, we're not inviting Floyd nowhere to where it's black folks only. No, we're not doing that. Floyd needs some money. Go over there to Israel since he let him use his private jet. Since he uses private jet that he ain't got no more because he lost his private jet because of his small hat lawyer who scammed him out of hundreds of millions of dollars. If Floyd need money, go to Israel and start dancing, and they might help you out. Don't be bringing them around the black folks talking about no, Floyd ain't black. Floyd
He
ain't
can't
black
go to
at all.
Israel either. He was about to get the dog shit beat out of his ass in Israel as
Floyd,
well.
No, that was the UK. That was the UK.
Floyd has always said, "I'm not black, I'm Floyd." He has that O.J. Simpson complex, so don't be trying to bring him around no black folks.
Man, he did that.
No, Floyd is he said, "I'm not black, I'm Floyd."
Boy, the things you find out.
So
but what Desmond Allen was talking about, Joe, is kind of like an inside joke. When he retired, second time I think. He came to Baton Rouge one year for Southern Homecoming. So I think Desmond Allen was using that Southern University reference. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I wouldn't bring Floyd around no black folk because he ain't black, he Floyd. So.
Yeah, because I think this was before he came out of retirement and fought Marquez. So when he retired, he came to Baton Rouge for this event for Southern Homecoming one year. Of course, they say he tried to flex and stunt.
Of course.
And go stun around the small hat people who got your private jet right now. Go stun around them. See how that work out for you.
Yeah, ask Ben Yahoo for some money.
Yeah.
Ask Ben Yahoo for some money.
He did try to like JB was saying, he had a situation where he tried to stun on him of course he was in support of Israel and a bunch of Palestinians. He went to the UK.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And he tried to buy some jewelry over there, whatever. Him and his like 6 King Kong bodyguards. But of course, all these people like, man, F your money. They studied up on him and you could have 6 King Kong bodyguards. It don't matter when you got like 500 people trying to get in.
Yeah, I remember that.
Facts, man. Ron, what's up? He said Floyd scam Mayweather.
Speaking of that,
Floyd scam Mayweather, yeah.
Do y'all think that he still got that security?
I don't think so.
Hell no. He can't afford him.
Oh, Grand Rapids Floyd. I like that name too. Grand Rapids Floyd.
Yeah. Because all right, so when the IRS put a lien from $7 to $8 million, what the hell? When they put a lien on your property for $7 to $8 million, bro, they want to collect any and everything from you. So they gonna put liens on your houses, on this, on that, anything you own, they putting a lien on. If Floyd supposed to be the 100, 200, 300, $500 million brother, $9 million should be like $900 to Floyd. It should be nothing to him. But Floyd ain't got money like that because he got a gambling problem. He has a stunting problem.
He got a
tricking problem, and he's living way above his means. Way above his means. All that catch up to you, and you trusting the wrong people. Again, all lives matter. Hence the reason why your lawyer Jonah, the small hat guy, then took you for over $100-some million. Hence the reason why you're trying to sue him and you're trying to sue Showtime. You know what I mean? So you wasn't trying to sue Showtime when you was fighting Conor McGregor. You weren't trying to sue Showtime when you were fighting Jake Paul and you had a pubic hair on your top of your head. You weren't trying to do that then. So now why are you trying to sue Showtime? When Al Heyman had everything together for you and took care of him and took care of you, you weren't trying to do that then. So now why are you trying to sue Showtime for? So you're trying to recoup all the money that you didn't lost and you didn't got scammed for. But guess what? Them lawyer fees gonna add up over time now. Hence the reason why he's trying to come back to fight, because he's trying to get that big bad from Showtime. He's trying to sue the small hat guy, but them lawyer fees ain't cheap. And them lawyer and the longer these legal things happen, the more your lawyers are gonna be scamming you too. So either way, Floyd, you better put them gloves on and get the dancing.
Facts. And we ain't, because I got stuff to do. But I need to fit this in. We was gonna talk about Chris Mannix and what was that other dude? Was getting on my nerves on during the broadcast last night. The former Hispanic fighter, what was his name?
Sergio Mora?
Sergio Mora, yeah. They were getting on my nerves last night.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this last thing, Jared. We're gonna see Floyd at the IHOP dining and dashing.
You wrong for that, JB.
Yeah, we might. How bad the economy is, that wouldn't surprise me at all. But
No,
but he did it to himself, and y'all don't take it as we trying to kick the brother. This brother.
Nah, I'm kicking. I'm kicking him.
No, there are too many real life stories with this man messing people over.
Hold on, y'all. Let me land.
Oh, sorry.
No, you fine. So bad choice of words. So the reason why brothers are kicking him while he's down, because he kicked others while they were down and was stepping on people and just not was not a good human being, just a bad person. So, and this brother had black people rooting for him, other races wanting to see him because they were just mad because he had money and wanting to see the black dude lose. But and behind closed doors, he wasn't a good dude. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Don't be surprised if you see Floyd standing next to Trump with a MAGA hat on. Don't be surprised, and don't be surprised if you don't see. Hey, you talking about jugging and scamming? Anyways, don't be surprised if you see him standing next to Trump, and don't be surprised if you see Floyd in Israel somewhere getting a citizenship out there. Trying to do his thing. So if y'all see that, don't be shocked and appalled, because he ain't got a man without a country, and is a man who ain't got no integrity. So. Again, that's just Floyd's not black. He's just Floyd.
Well said. And Grown Soul said Floyd is the prideful. He is too prideful. He's full of himself. Yeah, that's true. Man, let's go into this Jaron Arnold situation before we get out of here. And Big Joe, you the one that brought attention to our article, the article to us, but to give it like a quick summary of his situation. So, he is behind bars due to plotting a revenge against someone who stole $250,000 from him. Now he's charged with kidnapping. Big Joe, I don't think people realize how stupid this was, because like us, like people who don't know, you had a cup of coffee in the NFL for a little bit, played D1 ball, so you know the structure of everything in the NFL and what they have access to. So Big Joe, I'm gonna let you take it to explain why this was stupid on Jaron Arnold's part.
All right. Well, y'all don't know, Jaron Arnold was a starting cornerback for the Detroit Lions. He's a former University of Alabama football player. He was coached under Nick Saban and whatnot. So he's a phenomenal first-round player. He's getting a starter for the Lions. young cat, 23 years old. He just got drafted several years ago. He was on a podcast show with him and Pat Surtain. Him and Pat Surtain are real good friends. I forgot what the show was called, but anyways. So supposedly, I don't know if he owns an Airbnb or he was using an Airbnb, and he got set up and somebody stole $250,000 from the Airbnb that he was in. So pretty much he got set up. So instead of him, going through the proper channels, he decided to do some Nino Brown stuff. He started to do his own street investigation, and he believed he found the people that robbed and took money from him. So he hired some ladies to lure some guys to an apartment complex who he believed stole the money from him. These ladies lured these guys to an apartment complex, and then these guys jumped out, and he held the alleged robber suspect. So the guy jumped out, put the pistol on him, pistol whipped these guys, and they even went on FaceTime with Jaron, saying, "Hey, we got the guys, we're doing this and this to him. What do you want us to do? Whoop-de whoop." And he's like, "Do this and this. Oh yeah, I'm on the way, whoop-de whoop," or whatever. So he's on FaceTime while these guys are getting held hostage and getting pistol whipped, and he's orchestrating everything. Again, this was his plan and his plot. And all this is behind $250,000 worth of property or money being taken from him. Long story short, the guys get pistol whipped, they get held hostage. Jaron will show up, and come to find out, the guys that he held hostage wasn't the ones who actually did the robbery. So he's holding up some guys that didn't have nothing to do with him getting robbed in the first place. So,
Dang.
so again, of course, the guys run to the police, and then Arnold and then his associates got arrested, and they all flipped on Arnold, even the broads, even the women, who set the guys up in the first place. They all turned on Arnold and said, he's the mastermind and he's the one that orchestrated all this. And now Terry Arnold is he's locked up without bond, from what I'm hearing. I'm heard he hired a high-power lawyer, so we'll see if he can post bail, but he ain't got no bond, and now he's on suicide watch. So that's why the color vest that he had on for when he showed up for the court, is the vest you have on if somebody's suicidal. So they're watching him 24/7, make sure he don't do nothing to himself, because he literally just ended his whole NFL career. Now what JB was saying, for any NFL player or employee, you have access to NFL security. Again, if you're a secretary or if you're a star NFL player, if you're an NFL employee, you have access to NFL security. NFL security is 24/7, 365. There's no off days. If you run into any problems or any help, this number that you can call, and NFL security will be there to help you out. NFL security are former federal agents or former police officers, especially no matter what city you live in. The NFL security in your town or in your area, they have ties to local law enforcement or local federal law enforcement. Well, if it's the branch of FBI or the branch of the Secret Service that's in the respective city. So with the incident with Terry and Arnold, he could have easily said, "Hey, yo, NFL security, I got robbed for $250,000, whoop-de-whoop, da-da-da. What can y'all do about this?" They could easily run through their proper channels and see what happened. Nowadays, you can't run from nothing. Well, if it's cameras, camera phones, well, if it's cameras at an ATM, cameras at a red light, or even if it's a Tesla camera. A lot of stuff is now, you cannot, somebody gonna see something. So if he would have just went through the proper channels, the NFL security, hell, if he would have talked to the owner of the Detroit Lions, I'm sure he could have made a phone call and either got his property back or at least got the guys arrested, that took the stuff from him. But instead, he went the Nino Brown way. Instead of relying on the protocols that are in place for him to, not do nothing foolish, he wanted to be a young cat, a young YN, and do it his way. Now he lost his whole NFL career. This is a man who signed a $20, $30 million contract. Yes, $250,000 is a whole lot of money, but if it was property or whatnot, it should have been assured anyways. If it was cash, well, now you don't have to carry that much cash on you. You know, but he wanted to be Nino Brown, and now he lost his whole NFL career over something that could have been handled by the NFL security, who again who have ties to federal law enforcement and local law enforcement, to where if he couldn't get his property back, worst case scenario, the guys would have been arrested for what they did to him. But instead, he took matters to his own hands, and by him doing that, he is now in jail on a suicide watch with no bond, and he threw away his whole NFL career. So, hey, I have no sympathy for cats like that, because if you're in the league, whether it's the NBA or NFL, they want you on that field. They're not paying you all that money for you to throw your life away. You had no issues or no hiccups when you're with Alabama. When you were in Alabama, you're on your best behavior. But a lot of players, a lot of athletes, they idolize the street dudes. They idolize the young Jeezys, the Gucci Manes, and they idolize the Nino Browns, the Scarface, and all that kind of stuff. So these guys don't get tough until they start getting money, and then you bring the wrong crowd around you, and now you feel like because you got money, you can make calls to where you can either have somebody get touched or you can have somebody get handled. And that's the wrong mindset to have for somebody who's a professional athlete, not a drug dealer or a street dealer. So, you know, it's unfortunate. He threw his career away, but, you know, he's at where he's supposed to be.
This story irritated me so bad. Like, brother, you there? There's millions of young men, high schoolers right now, dreaming to be where you're at. You're there, and because you on some Nino Brown on some Bumpy Johnson and then got the nerve to get the wrong people. Brent Fox, what do you think about this situation, man?
Oh, the answer on this one is short and sweet. Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum dum. I'm not gonna be able I'm gonna say what y'all have already said, to be quite honest with you. You're the 1% of the 1% when you make it in the NFL. You are one of the world's best athletes. You have an opportunity that not very many people walking the face of this planet actually have. And you decide, because you want to get your street cred up, as opposed to focusing on your actual job, that you need to go out and do this. I know that, you know, when you're young and you're not used to having things and stuff like that, you tend to make like bad decisions, but you know, you have to know and understand your situation. But that's it.
Oh, well said. Short and sweet and well received. Coach, and you being a coach, and you in your position, man. I know you're in administration, but with your field, you've seen hundreds of young athletes go to high school and go to college, and stuff like this happen to them, man. I know you're like, you know, unfortunately, another black man, you know, wasted talent. What's your opinion on this, Coach? Really want to hear your opinion.
It's really a sad situation. Even though I'm in administration, there's a strong possibility I might end up going back to coaching this upcoming season. But I've coached one particular player that ended up getting killed a few years ago on New Year's Day in the drive-by shooting. I coached another young man, him and his little entourage. They robbed a armored truck that was loading up an ATM machine. He's serving 20 years in prison as we speak. And oftentimes I try to speak to young men like this young man who just threw his whole life away. I used to try to speak life, and still do speak life, and hoping that these young men and, you know, mentor them in addition to just coaching them. So at the end of the day, it's too bad he didn't have, you know, someone in his corner giving them prudent advice. Especially since Big Joe shed so much light on the situation from the standpoint of he didn't need to resort to doing street stuff where he could have just had NFL security deal with the situation. So at the end of the day, it's sad, it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't make it about me, but at the end of the day, it's too many young men just throwing their lives away, whether it's, like I told you, one young man who just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time that I coached that lost his life in the drive-by shooting on New Year's Day a few years ago. Young man I used to coach for football and basketball who served 20 years in prison. Another student that was in my class got killed a few months ago. So at the end of the day, like Brent Fox was saying, I mean, people don't realize the probability you making it to the NFL or the NBA, you have a better chance of winning a Powerball than you do making it and being a high caliber player in the NFL or NBA. So like Brent Fox was saying, he was the top 1% of the top 1%. You gonna throw it all away, trying to beat Nino Brown, trying to beat Bumpy Johnson, trying to be one of these gangsters that this country glorifies, that's on a movie or on television. At the end of the day, it's sad, it's unfortunate. And like Big Joe was saying, I really can't feel sorry for him because you did something extremely stupid and you threw your whole life away.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. JB, what's your opinion on this unfortunate situation?
Dumbass. You just threw your whole life away because you couldn't hold a L. Because you couldn't do what regular people do. File a report, a complaint. Hell, hire the detective. You wanted to do it the street way.
It ain't street.
It ain't street. Because your people, well, that don't matter. Street people snitch on each other. That don't matter. Yeah, so and then your people flipped on you. Hell, he wanted to be a street person. He got some taste of the street. That happens. There's no loyalties in the streets. You should have used the resources you had. But as black men trying to you thinking what other people or care about what other people think. Oh man, you don't let somebody steal from you. Man, that means you this, you man. If I were you, I would have had, saying that stupid bullshit that Chris Carter said a couple of years ago. You need to have a couple of, friends, with you. That bullshit he told those bunch of kids. Now you in jail. Man, I just want all the brothers out there, if you ever in a position like that, man, be smart. Don't, man, stay off of social media. Quit watching so much gangster movies. Sometimes listen to some positive, hip hop, some positive rap. You know what I'm saying? Only time I listen to that gangster shit when I'm working out. So I can get in the mentality to work out. To put some weights around. Other than that, when I was playing football and wrestling, they either slam somebody or hit somebody. So,
Facts.
Other than that, you trying to do it in real life, bro, that ain't gonna work out for you. You already target, you're black, and you rich. So, I mean, you wasn't gonna get away with that, bro.
Even though we don't feel sorry for you, I do believe in second chances, but you might have blown this one, but you young. Hopefully you'll learn from this young man. That's all I'm gonna say.
He should have took the L the first time. Now he gonna have to hold this L and everybody's gonna see
For a
it
minute.
for a minute because he was scared or cared about what other people. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know why he did it. I know for the most
I
part.
got you. I tell you why. I got you.
Go ahead.
Pride.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Pride and social media. Hey man, I know you're gonna let them do you like that. Hey man, if not, man, I wouldn't take that, man. But breaking news: Terry Arnold got robbed. Yeah, it's all over the place, and then your pride kick in, and then everybody you hanging around with who is not an NFL player is gassing you up. Hey man, hey bro, I wouldn't take that, bro. Hey bro, hey man, want me to take care of that for you? Hey man, hey bro, I'll take care of that for you. Hey, slide me this, slide me that. Hey bro, I'll take care of that for you. Yeah, I'll put a word out, and we'll find out who did it. Da da da. That's what he heard. So him having a little chunk of money, okay, they're gonna give me for $250. All right, I'm gonna put the word out. Yeah, we're gonna find out who did it. That pride.
And that's another thing.
Go ahead.
There's another thing, Big Joe. You know you had them, even if they were using you or whatever. What was the smart dude in the crew that was supposed to protect the bag?
Well, what is the thing? It is. He's only what Jaron saying. I'm only 23. He's only 23. So he thinking the mind of a young homie. Like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get just like any athlete. Somebody show you up on a play, you want you to get back to the next play. You know what I mean? That's what every athlete, NFL, NBA, somebody show you up. All right, next play, I got you. So now he's thinking that same mindset of, okay, I got short up for $250. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get that back. I'll make a couple phone calls. Hey, we're gonna make this happen. But at the end of the day, is that $250 really worth your NFL career? Because let's say he take a plea deal 5-6 years. By the time he get out, he'll be what? 27, 28. That's 5 years you're not playing the NFL. The NFL is not something you can just pick up and put down and pick back up again. You have to play consistently. You have to play every year. If let's say he get out, only he can do is probably go to Canada and that's it. Because somebody wanted to replace your spot with the Detroit Lions. Now they're gonna be cornerback number 1. So if you wanted that $250 back, go through NFL security and try to get it back. Or guess what, JB and Jared, coach, you know how you get that $250 back? Keep doing your podcast with Pat Surtain, and y'all get a sponsorship. And before you know
how about that?
You up $250 plus. Terry Arnold is not the first athlete to get robbed, and he's not going to be the last. Well, if it's your stuff in your house, well, if it's your chains, Kevin Hart then had somebody run through his whole house and took his whole watch collection worth about $20 million. Did you hear about Kevin Hart putting the word out on the street? No, you didn't. Because all the watches were insured. He just have to start all over again. Yes, it hurts. Somebody steal something from you. I've been there. It hurts. You feel like you vulnerable. You feel like you just been violated. But guess what? The alternative is what he's doing now. Sitting up there on suicide watch, throwing your whole NFL career away when you just signed a $20+ million contract several years ago. So you want that $250 back? You can build that up with the podcast when you and your homie Pat Surtain. Or guess what? You can sign with maybe become a Nike athlete if you wasn't one already, or you can sign with another sponsorship deal and do a couple commercials. And guess what? Worst case scenario, keep on balling. You can recoup that in your second contract. Lord knows you can get a playoff bonus. Lord knows you can get a playoff bonus by working on the offseason. You can get $500,000 just for working on the offseason. Hey, show up to the Lions practice facility and work on the offseason and give you $500,000. Bam, you done recouped your money already. But hey, he ain't thinking about that. He's thinking about, man, ain't nobody gonna do me like that. Okay, that's great. Now them dudes in jail, they gonna do you any kind of way. All that backpedaling and all them L drills is gonna help you out when you're in the shower. I know that for sure.
Damn.
That's crazy, man. So saying breaking news, Floyd is going to have a specialist this Wednesday. A free picture with the glove signing for $11.99 at the Gold Nugget on Old Las Vegas Strip. Damn.
Boy, wow.
That's what he gonna have to do, man. Jada6 said he should be familiar with taking L's. He's on the line, but yeah, the Green Goblin, young nigga voice got to him. Yeah.
Yep.
Coach 67 Sports TV said, I doubt he gets another opportunity to overcome this. His career is over. This was stupid. I wouldn't throw it away for millions for 250,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But it's exactly what Joe said. He was just so focused on getting them people back for like violating him that he clearly wasn't thinking about anything else.
What up, Sister Chris? Evening, y'all. We about to wrap it up, but I still appreciate you coming on, sis. Appreciate you.
Chris?
So she said, Sports TV said, I don't think they will put him in general population. Ann Bolton said, Floyd is about to start doing MLM for Herbalife. Oh, no. Yeah.
Damn.
Well, regarding him being a gym pop, that's up to Terran Arnold. If he decided to be PC'd up, then for you to be a PC, you got to be either a pedophile, you got to either be a homosexual, or you got to be a snitch. So everybody that snitched on him already. So who is he gonna snitch on to being PC? They don't care about him being no NFL player. You know what I mean? So what is he gonna do so that way he can be in protective custody?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. But it is highly unfortunate. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But Soul Power wanted to join in, man. What's going on, Soul Power?
My brothers. Hey, man, I just had to jump on to say Floyd doing so bad. He not even gonna be in regular, the new Las Vegas Strip. They sending him to the old Las Vegas Strip.
Dang.
He out here selling. He basically out here selling blown out pussy. God.
Oh no!
Yeah.
He's selling old clubs. He giving out free photos. It's bad for Floyd. God damn! And he gonna have the IRS accountant right there counting every penny when the people come.
Damn.
So you
You did good, Floyd. You made $6,000.
Damn.
So you saying Floyd is gonna be doing what he did with Anthony Joshua, stand up there and take pictures and shake hands, huh?
Oh, it's gonna be worse.
It's gonna be worse than that.
It's gonna be worse. Cause niggas gonna come just to clown with him. Hey boy, I remember when you would let me hold that head. Take this $12 and take my picture, nigga.
Oh no. Oh man.
Yeah, say Joe, your boy might even come back and have like a car detail kit for Floyd.
Oh man. Hey, he might.
I'll wash your car for you. Man, damn. Well, I'm just trying to figure out what the name of that kit would be. I know it's got to have a stutter in it though. The stutter wash kit.
Oh.
No, it's pretty easy.
Wash
the detail kit, man. Come on, we're playing.
Oh shoot! Hey man, I just had to get on to tell y'all that Floyd this Wednesday, the Golden Nugget, he out selling pussy.
Damn.
Oh man,
Hashtag Grand Rapids Floyd.
Grand Rapids Floyd. Hey, them small hats, go holler at your people, Floyd.
For real.
Hey, they having the ball on that nigga jet. They like, that nigga stupid.
Say money team on the side of the jet and ain't nothing but small hats on it, boy. That's cold blooded.
Nothing but small hats, bro. They going crazy.
Got their kids in there buckling their kids up on the flight. All right, let's go. Let's take off.
I'm telling you, and it's crazy. They had him sign a a contract was 1 page. They was like, he's an idiot. He can't read. He'll sign anything. Hey, y'all brothers be cool, man. I just had to come get that one off. Hey, I don't feel no type of sadness or anything for that nigga. Boy, if I see that nigga Floyd in Atlanta at Popeye's Chicken making my 6-piece, I'm gonna get my picture too.
I'm gonna add 2 extra orders to that.
Look, I'm gonna slide the nigga 20 across the counter and say, "Hey, man, hey tip, that's a tip for you, dog."
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's
All right, so
it's sad. It's sad to see, but we ain't nobody feel sorry for him. Floyd, Bob, and Weave detailing. Hilarious.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
Hey, if I'm AB, I'm on the string clowning that nigga Floyd right now. I promise.
AB trying to fight Floyd so that way he can get some money too.
yeah, they're gonna fight in front of the Waffle House for $12.50.
Now they'll probably get a real check because AB, he over here trending. Look. AB gonna go to Floyd and tell him, "Nah, I'm the money man. You the B side. You the B side. This your cut. This is what you gonna get." And the IRS will be standing right there waiting to snatch that check from his stupid ass.
Yeah, they gonna stand right next to him everywhere he goes.
Man, he gonna walk out that ring. They gonna snatch that check and say thank you. Hey, y'all brothers be easy, man.
All right, so
you as well. Thank you for hopping on. So, well, brothers, we are gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. And starting with Brent, man, let everybody know where they can meet you. See.
All right, I have a little show called It's Just Me, hosted by Brent Fox. I usually try to present content on Fridays on YouTube. Jared, thank you so much for being so gracious with your time. I know that we're running over. I appreciate all you brothers.
No, it's good. I let y'all flow, man. I let y'all flow. Y'all good. It'll get done. And Coach 67 Sports TV, let everybody know where they can meet you. See you, brother.
Well, I know some of my subscribers been like, "Man, Coach, you been slacking lately," but I'm enjoying my summer. I'm getting ready to start a second channel, so stay on the lookout for that. But you can catch me at Coach 67 Sports TV on all social media platforms. However, I'm primarily here on YouTube. Well, my primary YouTube channel, Coach 67 Sports TV. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed and phenomenal evening. Enjoy y'all Sunday. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Peace and blessings to the family, you dig? And and salute to the awesome and amazing LDBC, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And the brother that just hopped on, Soul Power, Growing with Soul, he has an awesome channel. If you're trying to get your garden started or want to know how to grow a garden, make sure you check that brother out. Awesome content. Awesome. Big Joe, let everybody know where they can meet you. See you, man.
Yes, sir. You can catch me on all LWC platforms, showing love to brothers and sisters of the mighty, you dig? So I'm not gonna promote nothing. I'm just gonna bring awareness. From my understanding, former bomb squad trainer Mark Breland, supposedly he's missing. Supposedly that nobody can find him, his family or his son, nobody can find him. Last, they said that at one point he disappeared for like 6-7 months. Nobody could find him, and he ended up in a nursing home. His family went to go visit him and whatnot, and then before they know it, he disappeared again. He wasn't in that nursing home now. Now nobody can find him again. So that's just what the family's putting out. So they're trying to find Mark Breland, the former bomb squad trainer. So hopefully they find the brother, but from my understanding that his mind is going, boxing takes a toll on a human body. So his mind is kind of, So yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully they find him, but also I'm gonna need Floyd Mayweather and everybody who screamed justice for Mark Breland. I need y'all to go out there, find him, take care of him, because y'all care so much about Mark Breland.
Yeah.
When him and Deontay fell out, y'all, Floyd, you invited him to your gym and put your arm around him and used him as a photo op. Now he needs some real support. Go over there, find him, and take care of him. And everybody who is screaming justice for Mark Breland, go ahead and put some money on him. Do a GoFundMe. Make sure he's taken care of. If y'all really care about Mark Breland like that. But shout out to Mark Breland. Hopefully, his family finds him, and hopefully that he's in good health. I'm hearing that he's just in another nursing home. That's what I'm hearing, but I'm not sure of that. But again, his family can't find him. So prayers for Mark Breland and Floyd. Take your stuttering ass out there. Go find Mark Breland. Take care of him since you care about him so much.
Well said. Well said. And JB, I appreciate you for helping me and always being there behind closed doors, brother.
But before we close out, it's a couple days early. But we just want to throw an early happy birthday shout out a couple days early. Our brother Brent Fox. Man, salute to you, Brent Fox.
Oh, thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all, brothers. I appreciate y'all, man. The greatest moments I have, in real life are just kind of hanging out with y'all, man. So thank y'all for that. That's the ultimate present for me. Thank you.
No problem, man. Yeah, happy birthday, and I pray you have many more. I ain't feeling that Pittsburgh Steelers cake, but enjoy.
It was delicious to me. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Yeah, you're right about that. That's all that matters. But like I was saying, I appreciate you, JB.
No problem. Y'all have a blessed weekend, man. I'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
All right. And this was another installment of the Southern Baller Show. Y'all be blessed.
Peace.